The Illustrator file starts out with 5 different shapes of a rectangle, square, a hexagon, a triangle, and a circle. And all you do is you start to create the shape and then go to File and Create Pattern, and you will get a swatch option that shows you, and I just made the swatches larger, but the pattern options, you can name the pattern, you can go from brick, by column, by row, by hexadecimal, a grid pattern. You can change the distance of the piece. The item shows up in the center as the motif, and then it has pieces around it that you can overlap and change. It shows how many copies you can place around it. You can dim out the sides so it's not too interfering, but that's just the first shape. So I'll just take the circular one, create the pattern, and just kind of showing it, going through these brick pieces, changing the space in between, adding a circle to it, changing the color, the elliptical shape, and rotating it, and just making a rectangle and filling it with that shape. And you can edit the pattern just by double-clicking on it. I've changed a couple colors, little circles to yellow, orange to red, and you can make more than one of the same pattern just to give you plenty of options. So just by doing the square, just taking a red square, change the perspective of it, make it so it's even, give it a little bit of a gradient just to try some of the gradients out in the swatches panel. Put a couple shapes, or the fill and the stroke are still activated, and you can edit the motif right in the pattern editor, so it makes it that much easier. So this one also allows you to rotate as long as the transform patterns is highlighted, so the pattern will go with the shape. Makes it a little bit easier. And so I just made another layer with the hexagon. So I'll start out with a straight color, go into the pattern. You can see I can even go right into gradients for the fill, modify the gradient, it updates right on the screen, and it makes it a little bit easier, and then just taking that shape and filling it. Now you can't see the hexagon, so I'll go back into the editor of the pattern and just change the stroke to inside, make it black. Click on it, make it a little bit thinner. And even then it's hard to see, so I'll just go in and edit the pattern, go right in and change the stroke to white. Then you can go into the appearance panel. Everything is open to you, and then modifying it that way. And this one's just a triangle. Give it a purple gradient, a yellow outline, and again just going into the editor makes the pattern. So you have a few options. A triangle, square, hexagon are all shapes that make a solid pattern shaped all the way through, and that had a hollow piece showing through it. And the last one, just do the rectangular for a brick. And you can do the mortar color, change it so you have a brick pattern, and just use the shear tool to make it offset, look like it's a wall. You can take the rotation or the transform tool. I just use the reflect tool and just flip it, and that gives you a brick pattern on a wall. And you can change that or duplicate the swatch and just modify that one, and it'll update right into the shape right as you're finished there, so it makes it that much easier. So very simple, just the pattern maker, all the different shapes, and you're off and good.